Sinister Seniors should be its own genre. I can't tell you how much delight I get when I realise the plot of a film is the evil machinations of the over 65. I mean, I find that shit inspirational. It's like, damn, I gotta look after my body. Like, I'm gonna need my strength. What if later on I want to sacrifice some youngins to a pagan god? You need a strong back and knees to draw pentagrams on the floor. It's just what it is. Maybe I'll branch out in my last bit of life. Maybe I'll do a reverse redemption arc, do the last bit evil. Not in the usual way that old people do, where they become a landlord, but in like a more community-spirited way. Maybe I could start summoning Sundays at the local bolo, call it Shandies with Satan, something like that. That'd be fun. Anything for Jackson is that premise in a nutshell. It's about two loving grandparents who lose their grandson Jackson in a tragic accident, and they decide that they would sacrifice anything to get him back. That's all I'm going to tease you with, because I went into this movie, I didn't know shit about it. I never see it recommended, and I was absolutely delighted with it. So I'm trying to impart that onto you, dear viewer, so that you hopefully have the same experience. This is just really, really fun supernatural horror. This might be the most fun I have had watching a horror film this year. Sheila McCarthy and Julian Richings as the couple Audrey and Henry play clueless but enthusiastic evildoers, like chef's kiss, magnificent. They have the same energy as like your parents planning to go away on a big trip. There's lots of, honey, did you remember to do this? Yes, dear. Like that sort of dialogue. And it leads to some moments that had me fucking rolling on the floor. They even added in a basement dwelling, heavy metal listening satanic edgelord as like the guy who's in the know. And he was fantastically grating. Like real neckbeard material. This movie balances horror and comedy perfectly. It's not a comedy movie. It's not like Dale and Tucker or anything like that, but there is just enough comedy and it's really well executed that the movie never feels like a slog. Like you are having a good time the entire time. The horror scenes are good in this too. Like they remind me a lot of 13 Ghosts. There's a lot of gore, there's a lot of contortion work. Actually, this movie, you could slot this movie, you could do a double bill with 13 Ghosts and this movie, and that would work like perfectly. They've both got that, it is a horror movie, but like sprinkles in of comedy. They both do that really well. One thing this movie does better than just about any movie I have ever seen is that it gives you a mundane scene, and then halfway through it flips the crazy switch. The cold open in this, there's a cold open that looks like it's just showing you the couple's morning breakfast routine, and then it just goes fucking bam and flips a switch, and you're reminded that you're watching a horror movie. The movie where this, speaking of the house, like the house where this takes place is magnificent. And they do something that you need to do if you're going to have a house-based horror film, and that is the director Justin Dick shows you the layout so that when shit hits the fan, you're not spending time trying to work out where people are in the house. You just know. You're like, okay, they're in the kitchen. Yes, they're running down the stairs. Like, I know where they're going. And that's done really well. Also, I looked up Justin Dick's IMDb. This fucking guy, he specializes in making Christmas rom-coms. I am talking classic white people on the front cover with terrible sweaters on, standing in the middle of pine trees with snow on the ground, like that sort of rom-com. And then in 2020 it seems he just decided, oh, I'm just going to have a crack at horror, and he came in, made one of the most fun and unique horror films I've seen in the last 5 years, and then just fucking dips back to love stories about people named Buck and Jessica. Like, what a savage. That's awesome. But also, Justin, come back to the satanic side. We fucking need you here. Make some more movies. God damn. This movie is fun as hell. The entities are scary. The couple is adorably clueless and menacing at the same time. It's just good, godless fun. It's also a reminder that the scariest people walking the earth are people who have just nothing but disposable income and time. Don't fuck with those people. Who's this for? If you, like I said, if you like 13 Ghosts or Cabin in the Woods, this is that sort of vibe. Little bits of horror, little bits of comedy, lots of horror. If you want to see the dark shit that a guy who spent 10 years making Christmas rom-coms can cook up, it's fucking... that astounds me. His IMDb page, what a twist. It could be an M. Night Shyamalan film. If you want to get aspirations and plan out your retirement, this could be you. A nice open plan house with a tasteful summoning circle in the burbs. You could do it, I believe. I don't recommend watching this if you want something scary or if you hate horror when it mixes comedy in. There's a lot of that. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just really good. I was worried that I was maybe just in a weird mood, and that's why I liked this film, because, you know, sometimes you get like that. You go, fuck, I really like that film, and you find out everyone hated it. Because this movie never gets talked about, right? This movie has like 70% user score on Rotten Tomatoes and 70% on Metacritic, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a horror film, that's like fucking universal acclaim, really. I have no idea why it doesn't get recommended more. It's so fucking fun. It's so much fun. This might be the most fun you have so far watching horror. It's a hidden gem of a horror movie. And if you were into supernatural spookies like I am, and you don't mind it with a side of laughs, here it is. Here's your next one. This is probably the best one I've found recently that does both of those pretty damn well. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for another review. Peace.